You are in Cirencester, Gloucestershire, capital of the Cotswolds. Kind of place you come to die. Yeah, it's very pretty.
Right, Adrian, so we've come out to see you boys today. Now, this is a serious operation. We've only been here, what, half an hour? I mean, we're not going to stand here and get you to list everything that you do because I think, you know, we'll be here all day, but just tell us a bit about your business and what do you cover?
So our business was started by my father in 1958 as an agricultural contracting, civil engineering and vehicle body builders. We have been offering agricultural services, construction, civils since then. Father, who at 88 is still very much part of our agricultural business, who's ploughing today. So we carried on farming and it's been the mainstay of our business until maybe 2011. And farming being what it is, we've had to diversify and find other avenues, and along came solar. And we've diversified into building solar farms, maintaining solar farms, doing the ecological enhancements, the wildflowers, the tree and hedge planting. The solar work pays for the contracting. Yeah. It buys the equipment that we all like to drive, and the farming is the pleasure now, I guess. It still earns enough money to pay for itself, but it doesn't keep us going.
Today we've actually come out to have a look at the 8RX that you've got on demo.
Yeah.
So what's the reason you're looking towards the 8RX then?
We are kind of looking at tracks. The bigger the track gets, the lower the grain pressure that we need. And it's trying to find something that would pull as well as give us low grain pressure. So we're trying something with the 4 tracks because the traction would be slightly better than the big long tracks. We've tried it on all sorts of stuff. We haven't necessarily got the right implements to go behind it at the moment on the organic stuff we're doing. We would do on the conventional. We've got a big top down and a couple of big drills, but we're not using them on what we're doing at the moment. But we'll see what it does on the power harrow today and see how it goes. We're on some light land here, but some of the ground that we look after on our main conventional arable ground is very heavy, awful ground. So we just need to look at options of where we're going. I mean, I am a Fendt man through and through, and I do like wheeled tractors that can go out and work all year round. It's no good having something worth £500,000 that sat in the yard for 9 months of the year. So we'll see what it does.
So whenever we were out with you yesterday, you were sort of playing about with the 8RX. You had your drive on it yourself.
Yes.
What was your thoughts on her? Like, I know you weren't drilling on her, but...
No, as everything, it's got its pros and its cons. And it coped when I had it on the plough. It coped very well with it. It travelled very nice, but it was probably for the plough that we had on it, it was slightly too big.
What plough had you on her?
We had a PB 100 Caverland plough. It was only 6 furrows. It would have coped easy 8-10 furrows. If we'd had one of those, it'd been nice to try it on. And it probably would have benefited to have an on-land plough rather than an in-furrow plough. Very impressed with it. They've gone a long way in the past couple of years, John Deere.
Yes.
They've sort of upped their game quite a lot.
So you thought she was all right?
Yeah, no, it's very good. Very good. I did enjoy driving it.
Have you an order for them in yet?
No. No.
Why?
I think there's probably a bit of a problem with the price tag.
$500,000 or something?
Something like that.
Imagine paying $500,000 and telling people you drive a John Deere.
Yeah. It's that is a lot of money.
But like these things here aren't cheap either.
No, but the benefit with this is I can put it on anything. You know, there has been the odd occasion where we've been struggling for a tractor in the yard, and it's been on the bale wrapper. I can go out and do anything with this, whereas that would be confined to field work only.
This thing fit for a bale wrapper?
Yeah.
Just about.
Well, yeah,
There's enough oil in the back, is there?
Yeah, there is. It's on the large side, but that's all we had on the time that we went bale wrapping for somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, and as the business goes, we can't afford to park something up in the yard and leave it in the yard, stood still doing nothing, being idle. You know, you can't afford to have anything now that's not paying for itself and not being able to be used 12 months a year.
But I suppose a lot of your work does involve haulage too.
Yes.
And tractors aren't exactly haulage material.
No. So, you know, we local sites on the solar side, we do use this to haul water for panel cleaning instead of having a lorry. We generally try and use every bit of equipment we've got in the yard and keep it running as much as we can when we can.
We have Fendt tractors and Scania lorries.
Like the power then?
Yeah, you've got to have the power, haven't you? Yeah, and they got to look good. They got to look pretty.
They do look
good,
all right.
Yeah, so we would have 3 730s, we would have 3 580s, and we would have an old 440 that's going to Ireland very soon.
So out of everything you have around here, what would be your favourite tractor?
The 8970 that's not here today, but the 8970 would be my favourite. We have green tractors. The blue ones have always been my favourite. My first tractor when I joined the business in 1985 was a Ford 6600. It's parked in a shed that we've had from brand new in 1976, and it still would be up there, but the 89 is some good fun. It comes out on high days and holidays.
How big is your business now? What sort of acreage are you covering? I mean, that's just in this country, because you were talking earlier about the time that you actually went abroad to do some cultivating, some working up ground in front of the drill. Like,
we currently look after around about 5,000 acres of arable, five maybe, something like that. We would look after, maintenance-wise, about 10,000 acres of solar. We would plant wild flowers across Europe on about 3,000 acres every year. And generally we cover the whole of the UK. So we have a fleet of lorries that takes us wherever, whenever that we need to go. I am going to Dartford in Essex to do 3 hours cultivating and a 6 hours journey ahead of the hedge planting team. Yeah, wherever we need to go, we go.
but that's the positives of having a truck that you can throw machines on the back of and you can go and do jobs like that.
We have 7 lorries that take us wherever we want.
Yeah.
So we just take the equipment and go and do it. We don't hire stuff, we use all our own kit. We would have around about 40 tractors, so that would be probably around the 30 modern tractors, and then I have a shed full of old blue tractors that are for a bit of fun and a bit of sport. We started off blue. My father's first tractor was one of these, new in 1943 at the age of 7. So we were blue right through until the TM 175 days, and it finished us. Then changed to Fendt, and I guess when you go to Fendt, you never go back.
The old man looked quite happy on his Fendt this morning.
Considering father started with horses,
Yeah.
he's done fairly well to progress to a Fendt.
Yeah.
We do have to go and rescue him occasionally with the technology, but he does okay. He does okay.
He does for 88 years
He
old.
does okay, and he's the only one in this business that will get away with murder. Yeah, because he started it and he's the boss. Yeah. My father handed me the business 28 years ago. Long story, my mother sadly no longer with us, had cancer. My dad thought it was time to hand over. I took over the business. We, at the time, were combining, doing a lot of arable, silaging, various things. Took it on, very much followed in what father did. We carried on silaging, doing the combining and everything. Then we got into the late 90s when the milk price was going down. Things were getting harder in the dairy industry. We were, at the time, running 2 silage gangs, and the silaging took us into the mid-2000s, and then it was getting harder and harder to find work. I mean, where we are now, we would have had 10 dairy farms within a 10-mile radius. We're down to 1 now. So in 2005, one of the people we were doing the the foraging for, said, would I like to sell them the business for foraging, which I did. Miss it every day, don't miss the hassle. Don't think we ever made any money out of foraging, but the adrenaline and the buzz from foraging was unbelievable. Maybe there'll be another day with that, we'll see. We've carried on baling, we do a lot of baling, a lot of straw, a lot of silage. We ran a combine for quite a while, but with combining, everyone wants to at the same time. A big combine, we're on a big arable belt where we are, big estates, 7,000 acre estates. So we worked out that they would have their combines, they would do the spraying, they would do the fertiliser spreading, we would just do all the arable work, and that's kind of worked because there isn't so much weather and time pressure by doing that. We would be the first bit of high ground at the end of the river at the Severn Valley, so we do tend to catch a bit of rain here, not as much as Wales and not as much as Ireland, but if it's going to be wet, it's going to be wet here. So it was trying to do things that weren't upsetting people, letting people down with weather, and it's worked. I mean, with our arable things, we've got enough tractors round and about that when we need to go and do arable, we can throw tractors at it to get it done.
So how's things since the last time I was talking to you, Paul?
Yeah, it's good, but it's been a tough winter, really tough. It was like I said, we drilled this back end of October. Adrian and I were drilling on a Saturday, and as we drove out the field, it started raining, and it hasn't stopped since. Yeah, basically. We've had a few dry days, and it's just up to a fortnight ago, we never thought we'd drill any of the spring corn. The weather's turned in our favour a little bit, managed to catch up, and hopefully I should finish spring drilling today.
Well, that seems to be the theme over here at the minute. Like I was with a fella there on Tuesday, doing the exact same thing, drilling stuff that he's already drilled.
I think we've been quite lucky, to be fair. Some people have just given up completely. It's sort of managed to dry out enough for us to travel again, so we're trying to catch up. Whether it'll be any good or not, I don't know. As they say, when you plant barley, spring barley at this time, this late in the year, they call it cuckoo barley, which never grows very tall and never yields very well. So, and this being organic, it's against it from the start, but hopefully they'll get something out of it.
So why is it called cuckoo barley?
It's an old saying, and then basically it's, if you plant it when the cuckoos are around, that's what happens.
Right, okay.
You know, it doesn't grow very tall because it's not in the ground long enough. The yields aren't so good, but at least you've got a crop.
Oh, I thought it was called cuckoo barley because you'd have to be cuckoo to actually start and drill it again enough time.
No, it is basically if you're planting it when the cuckoos are in the country, like. So
yes.
That's it's just one of those frustrating years. It's like people have said they've never known 6 months like it.
Yeah.
It's just, but it'll come right in the end.
It always does.
It always does. You know, we had a lovely summer 2 years ago, and basically nature's catching itself up.
As we're paying the price for it now, really.
We're paying the price for it now.
And can you ever remember a spring as wet as this?
No. We'd have been ploughed up 6-8 weeks ago. And since this is organic, we'd have had a couple of weed strikes and everything. But the only way we could plant the spring corn is plough in front and combi drill behind.
Yes.
And that was the only way we was going to get anything in the ground.
But is that the problem with farming? You know, like it is, and you're literally gambling every single day you get out of your bed. You're gambling all the time.
Yeah, it's like playing stock exchange. Gambling, you're gambling with weather, prices, and everything. It's just a gambling game now.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like that, but it is.
You maybe be wiser in the stocks, at least you'll be clean.
Yeah, that's probably true. It's probably true.
Well, you seem to be pretty busy at the minute. Like yesterday, you were out in a drill, there's a power harrow, there was 2 ploughs.
Yeah.
Your ERX was floating about in demo.
Yeah, it's making the opportunity, making the most of the weather and the window that we've been given to do something. Some people haven't been given that window.
So, do you see the likes of this field here, the day that you're doing, you're not actually sowing the whole field, you're just sort of filling in patches?
Just filling in patches, which has been flooded all winter, hoping they'll get some returns for it.
And does it actually pay off? You know, like, would whoever owns this ground, would it not be as wise to just leave it and harvest whatever comes from it, instead of you actually coming in and drilling this twice? You know, like essentially they're paying for the seed twice, they're paying you twice.
Yes, the benefits of having a crop, a product at the end of it that they can sell, being as it's organic, is at a premium.
Oh, so this is all organic ground up here?
Yeah, grown under a contract that heads back to you. They loaded a lorry yesterday with some, it's gone back to Ireland.
Right, okay. And do they have like a quota to meet then, I suppose, about like your milk? Not really?
Not really, but that's the best place they found to sell there. It's done through an organic arable group and a consortium of farmers that sort of have clubbed together, and then they market it as a group, which they seem to get a better price for.
I've always liked drilling. There's a little bit of satisfaction in going out and doing something good and watching it grow, and watching the misses if you make any misses. But when I started drilling, Father was still the main drill man in the business, and if you couldn't drive straight, he wouldn't let you drive. So I knew I'd made it when Father said to me, you can open the field up, because I could drive straight. Not quite as hard now with GPS, but drilling would be my favourite.
Back when you had to pick a tree in the hedge, you mean?
No, you put ranging poles up and did it properly, and sat there and didn't blink for all the way up the field. Yeah, but drilling, I would always make myself available for drilling and cultivation works on the arable side. You know, I don't get involved in anything else when we're drilling. I just go drilling. Yeah.
So are you still combi drilling then? Are you still running the combis?
We would run 2 combi drills, which generally come out on the wet going, and the organic farming is still quite involved, and we've tried many ways to do it with Mintill and it doesn't work. We're on some although we're on light land here, it's quite a heavy clay content. Even though we plough it shallow, if you don't plough it, you don't get any drainage and nothing grows. So we would run 2 horse 6-metre sprinters on the conventional stuff, and then we would go back to the combi drills for the organic stuff, because generally it's behind the ploughing, and it's
all about ground conditions.
I mean, this year the combi drills have drilled a lot, and then 2-3 years ago, I think we did something like 4,000 acres drilling with combi drills, and they were going 24 hours a day. They say, I mean, it is heavy on fuel, but if it isn't in the ground, it's never going to grow. So, yeah, the combis do quite well.
Well, you would sort of be like an arable manager over here, or the agricultural manager, I suppose.
Yes. When we started off, we didn't do a huge amount of arable. We did some, and then opportunities have arisen, which we've taken. We're turning around sort of over 5,000 acres cultivation and drilling, which we didn't have to start off with. So when we first started in 2014 with minimal machinery and labour, you'll be surprised on how quick and how big it's got. It's been good fun. Like we say, we've all had different opinions, arguments and various things, but at the end of the day it's forgotten about, and we just get on with what we got to do. We all enjoy it. We love it. In fact, if we didn't, we wouldn't be here.
Glad you done it.
Yeah, very much so.
So now that I'm not chatting to Adrian, what's he like to work to?
Oh, we've known each other for years. Well, we went to school together, helped him out on and off throughout my working life, and then in 2014 he saw an opportunity to do solar park things. There was a local one built not a mile away, when he wanted to get involved, and he asked me if I'd come and give him a hand and see if we could sort of start things going, which I said, yeah, I'll come. We've not looked back since.
Yes. But you would nearly be his main man now at that stage, would you not? Or one of?
Yes. I was to start off with, but as we've grown, it's got far too big for just 2 men to run.
Yeah.
You know, there's got Jason now that's running construction side. Nigel's doing the fencing side of it. One stage we could cope with organising and doing. We needed help, basically.
Yep.
Made life so much easier. And you know, we all chip in. If it means that some of us from the arable side has to go over construction or fencing, we do so. You know, we're not just set to doing one operation or working for one team.
Yep.
You know, we all intermix, and if somebody needs that extra pair of hands one week, somebody else goes.
And you've got work that can keep your lads moving.
We would keep everyone busy 12 months of the year. So we would have a construction side that do a lot of groundwork, civil works, which do very well. We would have a fencing division that would fence 100,000 metres of fencing every year. And then we've got the sort of ecological side that we do all the hedge planting, tree planting. People come here full time. We don't ever let anyone go. we would be as busy in the winter as the summer. So
that's good though that you can keep that work going on.
Yeah, even while it's been wet this whole winter, everyone's been out working. It's been a test for the guys on the ground with wet feet every day, even in wellies, but they've kept going. I mean, our PPE this winter has been a diving mask and a snorkel. It's been that wet. But they've kept busy, which is great.
We've got a good bunch of lads that work for us.
But you seem to have a good relationship with all your men too. But like every time you walk into the yard, you know, there's never anybody giving off. There's never anybody in a bad mood. All the staff are smiling.
Yeah,
you know, they're obviously always happy.
I was always brought up. If you want to get the best out of somebody, treat them as you want to be treated yourself.
Yeah. Should you pay them all 20 grand a month then, do you?
There's ways and means of talking to people to get the best out of people, and you've just got to respect them, respect their wishes and their views, you know. And as I said, talk to them, have a giggle, have a laugh, and you know, it works. There's sometimes that things have to be said, but there's ways of doing it. A lot of that art is gone now. There's not the, the personal touch so much, you know. A lot of people now are a number on the wage slip.
Does that too?
They're not a person.
They're not a person,
they're just a number on a wage slip.
Yeah.
There's a lot to organise, but I have a good team. So we've got construction manager, a fencing manager, a farming manager, a business manager. I go to a meeting in the office once a week and then I go out and work. And they say that I'm better out in the field than I am in the office. I cause less hassle. Yeah.
So you still need to get out all the time then? Yeah.
You've got to get out. I've never been happier than when I'm sat in a tractor. And I'm sure there's a lot will relate to it, but I get withdrawal symptoms if I don't go out on a tractor and growl a lot. Yes.
So if you're stuck in the office, you look outside and see the sun, you'll get a wee itch in your leg or something?
I get thrown out of the office when I get like that because I'm a disruption. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for having us out today, Adrian, anyway.
Thank you.
We'll get out in the fields now and stream.
Go and enjoy it. Get on and steer it.
That's it.
Yeah. Happy day. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.